Hi everyone, my name's Kimmy and we're going to do some laughter yoga this morning. Why don't you come and join us? In 2000, I was diagnosed with a disease called CREST. It's an autoimmune disease that takes the elasticity out of your body, both inside your internal organs and outside on your skin. What I found was that when I was laughing, the pain was going from my body and I was more positive about the things that I was going
Sounds like
through.
laughter's pretty good for you, doesn't it?
After being bedridden for about a year and a half, I looked into laughter myself.
This is my little boy, Finnegan, and he has a lovely little song that goes with his name. It goes, Finnegan, begin again, Forrest the leprechaun. Pooh, woo, 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 woodle, uni, poo, pooty, corn, all one word, Fin for short. Is that you? And that's me on my second wedding day. Our first 3 years was pretty lovely. We had gotten married to have children. Unfortunately, we found out that he was unable to. That was the beginning of the end. He was very violent. He suffocated me a couple of times. I would try and stop him, but I couldn't. Well, I was pretty happy until I kind of had a little inkling that my new husband was now in the bushes having sex with my bridesmaid when I was getting these photos taken. So it was a bit of a soap opera. I was just sitting and watching a movie called Till Death Do Us Part, and the two of them were fighting each other all the time. I was thinking, well, if that was me, I would leave. And it was like somebody had slapped me across the face and I realised that that is me. I packed the trailer and the ambulance, who was called Beloved Bess, and headed up to Western Australia. I thought if I go up north and work on a station, then perhaps I can find out who I am in other people's eyes rather than my perpetrators. Started to really miss that second husband. He rang me and said that he'd done a lot of work on himself. And of course, I never left him not loving him. So I paid for him to come up on the plane. And when he arrived, he said to me, well, I'm going to be leaving you because you left me first. So I'm only here to make life a misery for you until I leave again. So it devastated me to the point where I just didn't want to live. I shut my eyes and I had my hands in the praying position and I'm, please, please. Because I had had suicide attempts, but I didn't want to commit suicide. I just wanted God to kill me. I think it was probably 6 weeks later I got diagnosed with a autoimmune disease called CREST and given 3 years to live. I was going through. So after being bedridden for about a year and a half, I had a friend that I hadn't seen for a while come over from Queensland. And he said, Kim, I'm going up for a walk up to the top of the hill. I want you to put your shoes on and come with me. And I said, oh, don't be ridiculous. I can't get out of bed. And he's like, you stop being ridiculous and get yourself out of the bloody bed, you lazy bitch. He walked out and I'm like, oh my God, how could he speak to me like that? That's terrible. Hang on a sec. He loves me. There must be something in this. 15-minute usual walk took 2 hours. I was virtually little step after little step after little step up to the top of the hill. And then we got up there and he said, right, I'm going to put some of your favourite dancing music on and you're going to dance. I was like, oh, okay. He put the music on and I stood in front of the speakers and just started swaying. And suddenly I realised I was actually dancing.
With you.
And I had this revelation that, oh my God, when you forget that you have something wrong with you, in a place where joy is just running the show, I guess, you can do anything. And here I am doing something I love, dancing. So I danced every day until I was walking up and down that hill in the 15 minutes, until I was back at work and enjoying life again. So after being bedridden for about 1.5 years, I looked into laughter myself and I found that there were benefits that I could take on board myself. So I rang Laugh WA. I went down to the City Hall there and did the laughter yoga and fell in love with it and was like, yep, I'm doing this. It became one of the biggest treasures of my life. Everyone I touch loves laughter yoga. And I just was so proud of myself to be able to see the results of something that I'd done was now spreading, bringing through the ability for people to connect with each other, laugh with each other, and have a spot in their lives that has no negative energy going on. This is magical stuff. This disease was falling away from me. And that allowed me to see that when we face our demons, when we look at the trauma that's gone on in our lives, rather than hold it within us where it still has a life, I can get it out of me and I can replace it with something that's more conducive to a better life and recovery. Then I can make my life worthwhile and as a result fall in love with myself, have some self-worth and have some value. And as I did this, the proof was in the pudding. Well, what am I now, 62? So we're looking at 20 odd years ago that I have gone past that use by date. And here I am now doing an interview that hopefully allows other people to know that if I shine and show people I shine, they can also do the same. So good. When we get angry, there's another way to release your anger.
iyo twarakaye hari ubundi buryo tugabanya uburakari bwacu buturimo nzi agiye kutwereka.
In laughter, we get angry and then we laugh.
muri laughter ushobora kuba ufite uburakari ariko ugaseka bigatuma ugabanya bwa burakari.